breaking your subwoofers in, man? Is it necessary? Do you have to do it? Can it help? Would it hurt? Would the subwoofers do it by themselves any damn way? We gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna see can we clear up this common misconception. Okay, guys, so like I say, man, is it necessary to actually break in your subwoofers? Is it a real thing? Would you even get benefit from it? In my opinion, keep in mind, it's just my opinion, guys. If you have a subwoofer and the suspension is already very soft, and when I say suspension, I'm meaning the surrounding of the subwoofer, the spider of the subwoofer. If there's already very, very soft where you can push down in it and it move kind of like with minimum effort, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, the break-in period will do anything for that at all, because the suspension is already soft, is already loose. So subwoofers in that category, in my opinion, you slap them in the box and do your thing. You see what I'm saying? But on the other hand, if you have some of these big ass subwoofers like these, and they come with suspensions that's super stiff, no diddy, that you could basically stand on them motherfuckers or lay down on them like this. A 24-hour break-in period may help. Not saying that it's fully necessary, but I think it'll help. That's just my opinion. Now, you have plenty of reputable guys and reputable companies. On one hand, they'll tell you, nah, you ain't got to break the subwoofers in. They're going to do it naturally, which is 100% facts. The subwoofers over time are going to break in. They're going to get louder. They're going to be able to play a little lower. And you're going to be able to tell a noticeable difference in your system after time, you know, through the test of time as you playing that woofer. It's going to sound better. But on one hand, you have, you know, people saying you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to break the subwoofer in. That's a myth. And then on the other hand, you have some reputable companies that tell you like, yeah, with these subwoofers, we recommend you give them at least 24-hour break-in period. You know what I'm saying? Go easy on them. And they can be either by slapping them in the box in your vehicle and just playing them at a moderate volume for at least, you know what I'm saying, a week or so, maybe 2 weeks or something like that right there. And then on the other hand, you could, before you install it in your vehicle, you can hook them up into like an infinite baffle type enclosure or something like that, or just have you a stand or prop it up some type of way and play something like 20-something hertz on it and get it that suspension to start moving. You see what I'm saying? If you can get that suspension moving for at least 24 hours before you put it in at a decent volume, not real low but not full tilt, but at a decent volume where you can get a good stroke on the subwoofer itself, no did it. That can greatly help for those big ass beastie subwoofers, man. I mean, when your suspension is that goddamn that stiff, man, I feel like, me personally, you have to do something to help them loosen up. Now, granted, like I just said, they're gonna do that naturally over time. So I can see how there's a misconception on breaking your subwoofers in. I can see how there's a misconception, because I guess it all comes down to like preference. Like, what do you believe in, or how have you been doing it for years? Now, some people say they just throw their shit in full tilt, full blast, and it work out for them. Then you have people on the other hand, full tilt, full blast, fresh out the box, and some shit go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how there's a big misconception, but in my honest opinion, man, I feel like it depends on what level of subwoofer you have, man. If you have a pretty entry level subwoofer and the suspension is already soft, where you could, you know what I'm saying, down there pushing in with your pinky and it's already moving real good with minimal force, there's no need to break that in, because the suspension already soft. But like I said, once again, if you have one of these big ass, beastie ass subwoofers that you can damn near stand on and the suspension still don't want to move, a break-in probably can help that. Not saying that it's 100% necessary, but saying that it can help. You know, y'all leave y'all comments in the comment section below and let me know what y'all think, man. I want to hear y'all opinion on it in the comment section below as well, man. Currently I'm in Decatur, Georgia, and did my last stop, and I'm about to drop the trailer that I'm on now, hook up to the one behind me, and I'm about to book it on back to Alabama. And they probably won't give me another load, but they just crossed my mind, man, because like I said, on one hand you have people saying, no, it's a myth, you ain't got to do that, you know, they gonna do it naturally, which is facts. And then on the other hand, you have people saying, well, yeah, you need to. You know what I'm saying? And I even made a video, I think about a year or so back, when I had the Scar VXL15, and I did kind of like a break-in video while I was free airing it, playing it on I think Decal Music and all that. And that video got a lot of mixed reviews too. And that also helped me come up with this video, because I was like, well, that is kind of a misconception, because certain videos you go to, guys will tell you, yeah, you need to break them in. Other videos you go to, people like, nah, that's a myth, you ain't got to do that. And then, you know, common sense gonna tell you anyway. I mean, if the subwoofer is moving anyway, it's gonna naturally break in regardless. But can you speed that process up by free airing it for a couple hours? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So like I say, leave y'all comments in the comment section below, man. And I want to know what y'all think, how y'all feel about it, man. I'm about to go and hook to the goddamn trailer and get it done. I gotta try to be back in Alabama before it's time for me to pick my babies up from school. So y'all leave comment section below. This your boy BassAddict checking out with another one. I just want to see how y'all feel about that topic, man.
Period. The idea behind a break-in period is really to soften up the spider, which is in control of the suspension of your subwoofer's cone, so that, you know, you can get a little bit more X-Max out of it.
Some manufacturers recommend a 6 to 12 hour break-in period. Other manufacturers will attempt to break the sub in at like a 20 to 25 hertz test tone at midway volume. Others recommend pink noise at a specific volume. And honestly, because a subwoofer is playing at a very specific range, like up to about 80 to 90 hertz, I find that it's almost irrelevant. In our 39 plus years of doing car audio, we found that your subs will naturally break in over time. This is why customers call us in a few weeks and say, wow, our sub is playing a lot louder than it was when I left the shop. It's because the break-in is happening naturally.
Hey folks, welcome to DD Tech Talks. I'm Jake, and today we're going to talk about breaking in subwoofers. Breaking in subwoofers. We get daily calls from customers asking, do I really need to break in my subwoofers? How should I do that? Why should I do that? When should I do that? Here at DD Audio, we fully embrace the practice of breaking in your subwoofers. So, why should you break in your subwoofers? Whenever a DD subwoofer is fresh off the assembly line, its suspension system, specifically the spiders, is extra stiff and needs to be broken in. This is because DD subwoofers are designed to provide a high level of control in a ported enclosure within a recommended power band. After the subwoofer is broken in, you'll notice that it plays deeper with a higher dynamic range and more output. What's physically happening is the resins in the spider pack begin to soften and break up a little bit. The woven fibers that compose the spider begin to stretch out, and the surround also becomes more pliant. This is a brand new spider. It's crackling. It's very hard. It's very hard. As everything starts to loosen up, the subwoofer will exhibit a bit higher excursion and the FS will drop. FS, or free air resonance, is the point at which the subwoofer reaches its highest output at the lowest power input. This means it takes less power to create the same output at a lower frequency. Here, let me show you. Without any break-in at all, the subwoofer traveled about 3/8 of an inch in one direction at 155 to 159 watts of power at 39.1 hertz. Next, I played the subwoofer for about an hour at 39.1 hertz. I found that I could achieve about the same amount of excursion at the same amount of power, but now it was taking place at 38 hertz. I let the subwoofer play for another 2 hours at 38 hertz this time. When I came back to check on it, I discovered that I could achieve a tiny bit more of excursion, about a 32nd of an inch, not much, but at the same output power, only this time it was at 36.2 hertz. Next, I let the subwoofer play a little longer, this time 3 hours. When I came back, I'd achieved about another 32nd of an inch of excursion, except this time, the lowest possible power was at 34.9 hertz. Next, I let the woofer play for another 3 hours at 34.9 hertz. After this period of time, the excursion stayed about the same, but the lowest power input was achieved at 34 hertz. As you can see, with only 9 hours of break-in time, the FS has already dropped 5.1 hertz. If we continued the break-in process, the FS would continue dropping until it eventually stopped.
Alright guys, so I done made it back, but what do y'all think, man? What's y'all opinion on the subwoofer break-in? Now, this is kind of like a conversation starter type thing, you know what I'm saying? And I really want to know y'all opinion. This your boy BassAddict checking out with another one, man. We are
sweet dreams that can start off as nightmares, yeah. You can voice your opinion, but who really cares, yeah. Niggas saying that I motherfucking been here before, like I got a whole soul, you know. We cool, not that same dude back in high school. Trials and tribulation had to make